Alright everybody, welcome back to Feeziks Games. Today we are going to be beating level 21 of Shapes.io, where we got to make this little target shape, and it looks like this is going to be the first time we use the wires layer. So the wires layer is just basically another layer on top of this, I don't really know what to call it, normal layer I guess, and you can use it to do a lot of fancy things. This is my first time ever actually playing around with it. Last time I played this game, the wires layer didn't exist, so kind of excited to see what's possible. But basically you can drag wires out from different buildings or different places, like here on the hub where it has some constant signal that tells you this is the target shape that you're trying to make, and use them to perform some kind of logic to figure out, you know, I don't know, what am I going to build, how am I going to build it, etc. So if we switch back to this regular layer, let's make a storage unit just to kind of showcase that, and let's put a belt reader too. So then if we switch back, you can see the storage unit has two outputs here. This one tells you if something's in it, I believe, or maybe the count of something that's in it, and this guy over here will tell you what that shape is. And then also here, let's actually just put something into it, I guess, right? That'd be a good way to show it, right? So now we have this shape coming in, and this is what shape we're putting out. I guess I don't really know what this side does. I thought it would just tell me, hey, is something in there or not? And then the belt reader does something very similar where it'll tell me what shape and if something is flowing. So right now nothing is flowing because it's backed up. But if I go ahead and do this, now I know something is flowing through it. So I can use that to go into whatever other eventually unlocks we get and figure out kind of how to build more logic to make machines that just do all the stuff I want to do for me. But for now, all we really have is the quad painter that uses the wires layer, so that's just what we're going to do for this target shape. We're kind of out of space on the hub, and it looks like a lot of these shapes that we've got coming in now from the top here and this alien head aren't part of our upgrades anymore, so I'm going to go ahead and delete them just to save some space. Okay, so we got all that cleaned up, and now we only have shapes that we really care about. The logo, our blueprint, and this guy. And the logo and that guy are just for our upgrades, and blueprints obviously we need to do copying and pasting. So now let's figure out how we're going to make this shape here. So it looks like what we're going to need is 4 separate layers of half red, half white circles. So obviously we're going to need 4 sets of circles. We're going to need white paint, and we're going to need red paint. So let's find a good place where we can get white paint and circles, and then if we can make white paint, we can get red paint, basically. Alright, so we're going to just use these 3 colors here to start making some white paint, and then we got a lot of circles over this way, so we'll start using those after we get our paint done. So let's work on our mixing. We got 16 a second on the conveyor belt, and our mixers are 3.2. So we need how many? 5 mixers. So I'm going to want to be doing something like this, right? Alright, and then we have the other color that's coming in is going to look like this. And have, I don't know if I should have it coming from the top or the bottom, maybe just the top, since we already have everything else coming in the top. Like so. Then I'm going to want another layer of these guys. So now we got to get an input to there. I'm also going to copy this and bring it down. So this is where I have my other white paint. Oh, okay, it's basically the same. Alright. So I should have just copied that, really, but whatever. We're already here. And we want to try to see 16 on that. Looks good to me. We got white paint. We're going to need our half circles later on, but let's for now get a few more of these. Alright, so now we have a lot of white paint done. Should be 4 full belts of white paint. And we're gonna bring that over to another area. I haven't decided where yet, probably somewhere in this section. We're gonna actually paint and combine all of our shapes. So let's get our red paint as well. Let's see, red paint. So we're gonna want 4 full. Well, let me see how this quad painter works first, right? So we get our painter, we go over to the quad. Allows you to color each quadrant of the shape individually. Only slots with a truthy signal on the wires layer will be painted. At 8 items a second, right? So let's just put that down there. We need the shape coming in this side, the paint comes in this side. So we got the wires layer here, right? And how are we gonna make a truthy signal? It can be toggled to emit a Boolean 1 or 0, which can then be used to control components. Okay. So I can just 2, 3, 4 of those. Well, I guess I don't. If I'm just gonna make them all a 1, right, like that, then I can come in here and just put in the 1 to everything, right? And then just for kicks, bring over some white paint. Okay. So now I want to know how fast does that consume paint, right? Is this using 8 per second on each of these, so it's 16 per second since I'm using 2 of the same color? So let's put that there and trash this. I guess I'll need to get the full throughput on all of these. Okay, so it still seems like 8 a second. Oh, now it's climbing though. Yeah, it looks like it's 16 a second per because I'm using 2 of each color. Yeah, okay. Okay. So in order to make this shape, I'm going to need 16, 32, or not 16, 32. I can't do math. What's 16 plus 16 is 32, plus 16 is 48, plus 16 is 64. So we're going to need 64 a second circles, white paint, and red paint. Okay. Okay. So I already have the 4 lines of white, so that's 64 a second. Now I need 4 lines of red and 4 lines of circles. And then this kind of painter layout. So let's just delete this, clean it up. Alright. So each one of these is putting out one of our layers. We're gonna have to do some rotating, it looks like. But we have all 4 layers stacked up. And what we need is white on the top right, and then white on the top left, and then white on the top right, and then white on the top left, right? So I'm gonna make this one the bottom layer, this one the second, third, and fourth. So let's see, I need to rotate this one clockwise a single time. This works fast enough that I can just put it right at the output. Alright, this one should be good. Yep, and then we gotta do another rotate here, and then this one should also be good. So these should each be coming out at 8 a second because the painter works at 8 a second. So I'm expecting to be able to get up to 2 belts worth, it looks like? No. No, not even 2 belts worth, half a belt worth. So I'm gonna need more of this to get a single 16 per second line. But let's start with getting our stackers. So we have 2 items a second, and we're coming out at 8, so I'm gonna need 4 of these. So let's stack this guy on top of this guy, and then we can do that result on top of this guy, etc. So I'm gonna come back here to where I do the logo shape and steal this compact stacker looking thing. I don't need this splitter part, but what I do want is this layout. don't know if I'm going to copy it because it's not the exact same, but I just wanted to look at it and figure out how we're going to do it. Oh, I forgot to put these in here. Oopsies. Same in here. Alright, now is this the correct shape? It looks correct to me. And these should be coming out. I should be getting one single belt of 8 a second out of here. Or 16 a second, sorry. Nope, not 16 a second. I'm getting much less than that. So I'm able to feed these way faster. So did I do the math wrong? Do I need more than 4 of these? I'm getting 8 a second, so I need double. So perhaps I do need 8 stackers. Okay, looks like all those are lined up, so those should be working. So now I need an 8 to 1. So 8 to 1. Then I want a belt reader on that. And I'm expecting to get 16 a second. I want to see a full belt worth. It doesn't seem to continue to give me 16. Okay, so I'm still probably getting 8, I would assume, right? So the backup is further back in my system. Okay. So yep, still getting 8. And it's these guys aren't getting produced fast enough. So I think I need to double the number of these guys here. Well, we are still backed up, so apparently that was not the problem. So what is the problem then? Oh wait, hold on, it's kind of catching up. Doesn't look like we're getting quite 16. But we're very, very close. It's probably these splitters not being the perfect ratios, honestly, but eh. Oh, yep, 16. Perfect. Alright, good enough. Put that into the hub. And we need 25,000 of these, so that's going to take a while if I only have one belt. So let's see if we can't expand this even more. The hardest part here is getting the white paint and the red paint into this. And using them efficiently, but really there's no way to use them more efficiently, honestly. Because you have to make 16 a second, we need, how many is this? 8? 8 sets of white painters. So that's quite the decrease, like going from 16 times 8, 128 a second white paint down to 16 a second items. That's slow. It's real slow. But I guess we can continue to add one more of these and see how that goes. Alright, so that's the second factory done. Now I would expect to see us delivering 32 a second of these guys. It looks like it might not be exactly that, because I'm seeing a lot of emptiness here. So is there some line here that isn't quite working? Oh, this guy isn't getting anything. Oh, he's not connected, that's why. Alright, now that that's working, maybe then we'll see 32 a second. So we'll have to give that a second to kind of filter through all of this. It looks like it's catching up. Still got some gaps. Okay, that might be it. That might be 32 a second now. So let's jump back to the hub. And it took us quite a while to make that second one, even with all the copying and pasting. So we're already at, I don't know, pretty close to there. 18 out of 25. And let's see what we're doing on delivery. Still 16 a second, which is... I'm not quite sure if I understand why. Maybe it just takes a second to update. Yeah, these guys are making it in, so I would want to see a 32 a second jump. Am I only getting 8 a second on each line? I wouldn't expect that. This says 16. This also says 16. So this should be 32, shouldn't it? Wait, is it the wrong shape? Oh, it's the wrong shape. That sucks. If I just rotate it once, does that do it? Is that all I need? Once counterclockwise? That's why this guy was down here. I was wondering why I had a second version of the shape in there. Oh, okay. Yeah, there we go. Now we're getting 32 a second. Okay, so something I did was wrong in that second factory. I must have rotated the wrong pieces somewhere along the line. But hey, it works out, you know. We just put this gross little rotator in here right next to the hub and it works. Alright, nice. So we'll come back once this is finished and we'll have the item filter unlocked, which I'm going to guess is another addition to the wires layer. So that'll be useful. Hopefully we can start actually using this wires layer more than just the, I don't know what to call it, little input button here. All we did was really just set these to a 1. We didn't really do any kind of logic or anything. Alright, and here we are. We should be about to hit that item filter unlock. There we go. So you've unlocked the item filter. It will route items either to the top or the right output depending on whether they match the signal from the wires layer or not. You can also pass in a Boolean signal to entirely activate or disable it. Okay, so that's cool. It's basically just a gate, like an if, I guess. That's nice. So we should be able to use that. What the heck? We have to make like a fuel gauge here? That's interesting. Alright, so next episode we'll be working with that item filter and hopefully some more wires layer. Getting this little fuel gauge shape going. And stay tuned for that. If you liked the video, drop a like. If you didn't, hit that dislike button. Drop a comment below, let me know what you guys were thinking about it. And feel free to hit subscribe if you want to see some more Shapes.io gameplay. Alright, peace.